Peace to the family, y'all. Peace, peace. Peace, love, and light. Peace, peace. Greetings to the family. Peace, love, and light. Peace, y'all. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Yeah. Let's go. Cold world. Peace, y'all. It's so much going on. I don't quite know where to begin. You know, I don't even want to say I'm gonna freestyle. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot on my mind. I got a lot to get through, and we got limited time, so we just gonna get right to it. You know what I'm saying? Are you for real? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my internet. Let me step around this. So it's a school shooting in Texas, huh? Isn't school over? I'm attempting to go somewhere else to see if this is gonna be better reception. Yeah, they trying to stop it. I ain't even start yet. And they already with the BS? 14 children. For real? Damn, yo. That's terrible. Look, man, my thing is this, right? Let's get this shit out of the way right away. For the people that's saying that these situations are staged because they want to take your guns away, you know what I'm saying? My thing is like this. You got guns, and what are you doing with them, right? They're going to take your guns away to do what? Because the shit that they're doing to you now, you're not firing back. So them taking your guns away is going to do what? I don't understand the thing, grandmother. So what are they taking your guns away? Talk about this. Let's talk about this shit, man. Let's get this situated, because I don't want nobody this to fall for none of these cons that they up here talking about. All right. Now, I changed the Wi-Fi. All right, somebody said, how dumb do I sound, right? Look, my perspective is my perspective, right? Is it better now? Let me know if it's better now, okay? So let's be clear about something. My perspective is my perspective. You feel me? There's nothing dumb, and there's nothing necessarily intelligent about what I'm saying. It's just my perspective. You feel me? It's just my perspective. My whole thing is this. And I was playing this clip, right? So I could put things in perspective. And what I was explaining in this particular clips is that the reason why we even got here today, right? Whether you are indigenous, right? So whether you are FBA, whether you are a foundational Black American, right? Or whether you got here on a ship, you feel me? Both of you got conquered by superior technology. You understand? Both of you got conquered by superior technology. And this is the superior technology.
The reason why one race think they're better than the other is because they acquire technology. If you look at Africa, the reason why they are able to introduce their religion, their language, is because of the gunpowder. Our fathers fought, but they didn't have the gunpowder. So technology defeated them. If you want to develop as a people, you must develop science and technology. And we have to understand this is a survivor for us. We have to produce in Africa. You have to produce what you eat, or you have to eat what you produce. We shouldn't be depending for somebody else to give us what we're drinking. If we develop technology and our confidence goes up, our country manufacture, we can defend ourselves, nobody can bully us, then immediately the kind of respect people have for your race goes up. Reason why one race think they're better than the other is because they acquire technology. If you look at Africa, the reason why they are able to introduce their religion, their language, is because of the gunpowder. Our fathers fought, but they didn't have the gunpowder. So technology.
Aaron Salter Jr. wore many hats in his life: retired police officer, substitute teacher, but one of his true passions was science. He built a lab in his garage where he spent countless hours working to develop an engine that could run on water.
It's not running off of gas fumes? No, there's no gas fumes. No gas fumes.
Sadly, for all he was in life, the world is learning his story because of the courage he displayed doing his job, protecting his community. Aaron Salter Jr.
So, those are two examples, right, of the way that technology can change the world. Okay? Those are two ways that technology can change the world. And where everything that brother just said about the government is malarkey, it's bullshit. You know why? Because my thing is this. The government is not concerned, especially with melanated people with guns, because you niggas asleep, right? They don't need to impose upon you to take anything away from you because your mind and your behind is not in the game to begin with, right? And you have, even if you got little pistols on you, you protecting all of the wrong things, right? So again, these are people who know the cost of everything and the value of nothing, right? So this brother who was a victim, right, in an assassination, a clear hit, an assassination in Buffalo, right? They sent that man up there to assassinate, okay, a person that had a particular piece of technology that could disrupt what they doing over there in Davos. They're speaking about the Great Reset. Now, the Great Reset is an energy reset, right? Let's pull up another article since we need to put this thing together, okay? We need to put this thing together so meticulously and explain the softest parts, because you might be looking all the way down there and the shit is right behind you and you don't even see it, right? So the Great Reset is an energy reset. It's not about necessarily, the money is a petrodollar. So the money is tied to the fuel. The fuel is the energy source. The energy source is fossil fuels. So they're saying that we want to take fossil fuels and go to electrical vehicles or clean energy, which is still not all the way there. The cleanest energy, right, is water. Water as a power source is the cleanest energy. That's how you get out of the bubble altogether. And utilizing the free energy in the air like Tesla was talking about. I didn't say Elon Musk. I said Nikola Tesla. Right? But they're sitting up there in Davos and they're telling them, look, we want to strategically wean the population off of fossil fuels, right? Which is what they're in Russia right now fighting. So gas is still going up to $7. It's like, you didn't tap into your oil reserves yet. You didn't cut a deal with Saudi Arabia. So Saudi Arabia, the people who's in bed with the U.S., right? The Saudis have the biggest oil company, or they have the biggest company in the world, point blank period. They have eclipsed Apple as being the #1 country in the world. What is it? Aramco? Whatever their oil company is, right? So they have to promise the trillionaire fossil fuel moguls and the moguls and what have you, they have made multiple trillions of dollars. Yeah, Aramco. They've made multiple trillions of dollars off of fossil fuels, and fossil fuel byproducts. What is fossil fuel byproducts? Anything petroleum based, including the fucking jelly, right? But in particular, sneakers, pharmaceuticals, right? Jelly, food, all of that stuff, this petroleum base is byproducts of the fossils or the oil or the petrol, and the dollar's pegged to that, right? That's what makes it a global reserve currency, because it's pegged to the energy source, and the energy source is petrol, it's oil. So they have to move off of petrol, and they're saying that they're going to slowly move them to clean energy, which is electric energy, right? Hence the fact that EV vehicles and everything is a hit. But they're not going to jump, even though they have the available technology. They're promising them, look, we're not going to do an immediate jump. We're going to do a slow pump and dump and jump, right? So they want to slowly drag people along the next 10 years and unveil technology slowly to them that they technically can unveil to you tomorrow. But if they did that tomorrow, they would bankrupt, right, the fossil fuel industry. It would be such an abrupt pivot that mad people will lose money. So they got to go to Davos and places like that and promise them that they're not going to make an abrupt pivot. And then they're up there talking about carbon footprints. Anytime that they're talking about carbon footprints, they're speaking about melanated people, right? And this is not up for discussion. Since niggas want to talk conspiracy, let's talk conspiracy then, right? When they talk about the carbon footprint and minimizing the carbon footprint, that's them saying that our eugenic plans are on their eugenic plans are on course, right? They're killing niggas at an unprecedented amount. You feel me? And the way things look, they'll be able to eradicate as many melanated or black or brown people as needed and necessary to fulfill their mandate by 2030. So when they're telling you about all of these particular the race theories, the replacement theories, right? All of these factors from 2030 to 2050, again, this is them keeping notes to say, not only when is this melanated people supposed to come into power in terms of your genetics, but they're speaking about something cosmic, which is the precession of the equinox in 2015, when the equinox, our guiding pole star, our North Star, is going to be a constellation called Cepheus. And King Cepheus is an Ethiopian king, right? So the guiding pole star in 2050 for that matter, is going to be a melanated king man, right? A Leo, a Judah, a lion of lion, a king of kings. You feel me? So they're turning all the way up. You feel me? Once again, attempting to trick people out of their bag. And the bag in this case is your life. The bag in this case is your bloodline. The bag in this case is your lifeline. Right? And just making it very disruptive and you know what I'm saying? Not as utopian as we feel that the world should be with the access to all of this technology that we have out here. Things supposed to be getting better. Right? But it's impossible to get better when there's money involved, because in order for you to come up, somebody got to come down. You know what I'm saying? In order for you to come up, somebody got to come down. And they like, look, we not finna voluntarily be doing that. So they have this whole theory about being replaced as a race, and it's causing them subconsciously, right, to feel very uncomfortable, because they understand clearly, even subconsciously, about genetic annihilation and the possibility, right, that our populating or overpopulating is going to push them to the borders, right? So they're willing to do something about it, but they're very aggressive about it, right? They're willing to do something about it, and they're very aggressive about it. Yeah, time may be up, but again, if your existence is tethered and connected to their existence, right? If their time is up, so is your time. Are you doing everything that's necessary and needed for you to remove yourself from their system? So if their time is allegedly up, then your time also won't be up by default because you're relying upon them for food, clothing, and shelter. So if their time is up, then that speaks the end to your time as well. So that's not even a cause for celebration. You niggas would not know what to do without them. Right? Ain't nobody talking about growing food. Again, somebody's telling me about, oh, the government's trying to take their guns. Nigga, what are you doing with your guns while you got them? Because the thing is not to do when the guns are gone. What are you doing with your guns now that you got them? You feel me? So the government is scared of you to do what? They're not concerned with a goddamn thing that you might potentially do. Not when you on like cold lockdown and you fearful. The fact that you hate yourself more than they possibly hate you, they don't have nothing to worry about in that regard, right? Because you will exterminate yourself. You will exterminate yourself categorically because you see something that you hate. You will not do a goddamn thing to them because when you see them, you see God. And you scared to die already, so you super scared because you like, shit, I'm going to die and they're going to wow me up in heaven. Nigga, you scared of them in the afterlife. You scared of them in the living life and you scared of them in the afterlife. So you only can go and take that aggression out on people who look just like you. And while it is a tragedy that 14 children got killed in Texas today, you feel me? Niggas are still out here drilling, right? And killing one another. These babies is out here killing one another. Our babies are killing our babies. And then the other babies are saying, oh, I don't want to be here. And then the other babies are saying, you know, I'm a boy and I like other boys, so I don't even want to motherfucking populate and duplicate myself. While they're saying, not only do I want to be here for the next 100, 200, and 300, 400, and 500 years, right? I'm willing to take out some of y'all in the process to show you, to stake my claim about how much I want to be here. So if we don't have the same energy, if we don't have the same attitude, if we're not showing and teaching our young boys in particular, you see that young girl over there? That's potentially your wife. You know what I'm saying? That's the mother of your children. That's your wife first, though. But that's the mother of your children, potentially. You know what I mean? And she can yield you an unprecedented amount of wealth, right? And they be like, damn, Pill, like, she got the bag. And I'm like, she is the bag. You feel me? She is the bag. She's the one that can supply you with a whole tribe, right? She could bring forth. Can't nobody bring forth? Like, nigga, you can't do her job. You shouldn't be out here trying. And putting on fucking lipstick don't make you a woman.
38-year-old Mariam Nabatanzi has given birth to not one, not two, but 44 children. Mariam had her first child when she was just 14. The eldest of her children is now 24, while the youngest is just 2.
I had twins twice. I was happy to have 6 children. Then I conceived again and had quadruplets. Contraceptives didn't work for me, so a doctor told me not to use them. So I continued conceiving.
The children all share the same father, but the size of this family didn't go down well with him. And not too long ago, he left, leaving his wife to raise the children alone. At meal times, nobody eats until Mariam has served every plate, scooping every last morsel from the pot to ensure that everybody gets an equal portion. She hopes one day to find someone else to share her life with. 38-year-old Mariam Nabatanzi has given birth to not...
Mama need love. She brought 44 children in the world and the nigga cut out on her. You feel me? She brought 44 children and the nigga cut out. And the only thing she want to do is be consoled. She just want, you know, somebody to be there for her. She brought 44 through. You feel me? So look at the potentiality that our women have properly loved up on. Now, the nigga cut out, he didn't handle his business all the way through. You understand? But this is the shit that I'm talking about. If we're not raising these young men the right way to express to them the importance, right, of populating this planet with duplications of themselves, right? And you want the young man to be a young god so he can duplicate and give birth to a god and a goddess. And he can stick it out. No pun intended. You know, with his wiz, she brought forth 44 children. That's the power of this womb that she has, right? How dare you attempt to rival her with a nigga who put on some fucking lipstick and a skirt thinking that he a goddamn woman? Huh? This the power that she got. This the power that she got. She brings forth life. She has a whole motherfucking human being growing inside of her. I cannot even wrap my head around that shit. To this day, this shit baffles me, man. Fucks me up. Anytime I try to even put my brain to it, it fucks me up. Right? It fucks me up. Because I know some stingy ass niggas. Niggas will lend you $5 and be pressing you the same day for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Peace, y'all.
Hey, bro, where you at? Got that piece of
A festival.
a festival?
Yeah, somebody had that. It was a custom piece.
Yeah, I like that.
Appreciate you, God. Niggas won't even share their fries, let alone their body with a whole nother entity. Right? And no, I don't have children. I don't have children. Right? But that don't rule out the fact that I still, one, don't want children, or am capable of having children too. You know what I'm saying? Or one day, I don't think I'm gonna have 44 of them. Right? Yeah. So it's a real situation, and I would be able to speak to people, you know, and share my own narrative and my own stories as well. To be like, yo, I don't have children, because of everything that I did bear witness to. Peace, God. Everything that I did see, I was like, yo, I need to be married before I have children. You know what I'm saying? That was my parameter for having children, because of how I seen children raised. My nieces, my nephews, people that were close to me, my godchildren, any and every, you know, all of these children that I came into contact with, I was like, yo, I had to be the one that loved on them, and I had to be there for them when they was hurt. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, damn, if I meet a woman and she's not worthy of me marrying her, then it's impossible for me to think that she's going to be worth having my child, which is a lifelong obligation. So if I can't commit to marriage, it's going to be very hard for me to commit to parenthood. And I don't want to co-parent. I want to raise a child in the same household with that child, seeing their parents have a loving relationship, because that's what I wanted. Right? So you can only provide for others that with you want it for yourself. That's the only way that you can alchemize the situation and make it right. That's like leveling up and learning. You know what I'm saying? But I'm in my 40s, and it's not too late. You know what I'm saying? And it's not too late. So what y'all want to talk about, you know? Because my shit transparent, I'll tell you. You know? I've been in relationships since the age of 14, and I'm 46. Right? And, you know, my relationships were ones that were, you know, I didn't have the most faithful relationships. You know? So it wasn't always about them. It was about me, and coming to my fullness and my maturity to be like, yo, all right, I'm not a polygamist. I want to have a monogamous relationship with somebody. I want to marry them. I want to value them, you know what I'm saying? But I also have to learn commitment. And when you learn commitment to the woman that you're in a relationship with, you're gonna learn a commitment to the children that you father with that woman. Because it's all about commitment. And if you have an issue with commitment, those be the niggas that be cutting out. You feel me? So I knew I had a commitment issue, and I did never want to be the nigga to cut out. So I'm like, I need to work on my commitment. You know what I'm saying? I have to work on my values. I have to work on, my valuation is not only for how I value the person I'm in a relationship with. My valuation is how I value myself. You know what I'm saying? How I value my energy, how I value what I'm willing to share of myself with other people in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like these things I had to remix. And what I'm saying, yes, if we catch these children at a young age, then we can train them up like this. You feel me? But if you my age and you're attempting to reverse what you have been trained and taught your entire life, okay, that's one hell of a job. That's one hell of a task. Right? It's going to be a lot more harder to train somebody that's in their 30s or their 40s as opposed to training somebody when they 5 or they 10. I was in a barbershop just now, right? And there was a youth in there. He was 5. He know the lyric to every rap song. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess his mother keep him around the streets, right? Shorty was super tapped into the streets. He knew all the rappers' names. You know what I'm saying? Somebody had a hammer on their hip. He was like, you got a gun? You kill people? Like, he was just asking some of the most direct questions. But he also did 30 push-ups, and I gave him some bread, right? So, he's street savvy. He got his knuckle game together. He got little cuts and everything. He little swole. Like, he's being trained and ingrained at the age of 5. These children are learning from the age of 2, 3, and beyond what time it is. And again, we're inundating them with a continuous atmosphere, right, of music, of lyrics, of conversations. They overhear everything that we say. They see everything that we do. They're listening to what we're listening to. You feel me? And he was not bad necessarily. We saying bad as fuck. No, he was not gone to the streets. He was just street savvy. He was just in the elements. You know what I'm saying? I got a nephew like that as well. My nephew's not bad. He's very engaged with his environment. Yes, I wish I taped it. 5 years old, he did 30 push-ups. They wasn't the cleanest push-ups, but he did them. And he did 50 jumping jacks after that. This is Atlanta. This shit different. Especially in the hood. Right? And again, it speaks to the potentiality and the fact that if somebody can go to Buffalo and randomly shoot up a supermarket and hit an inventor and hit a civil rights icon and hit a mother of a fire commissioner, right? If you could randomly just shoot in the crowd and the people that you hit are fucking geniuses, what does that say about us as a population, right? Why do we have to die in order to be seen? Like, why does a nigga have to go into the clouds in order for you to see his genius? Right? And I think about this brother right here as well, because this is a perfect example. This is a perfect example. Right? Why do we have to die in order for our community to see our genius? Peace, God. You good?
Yes, sir.
All right. Huh?
I think we always run the fast.
We always, God. Why do our people have to die in order for us to see our genius? We supposed to just stop everything that we doing and say, yo, who are the geniuses amongst us that have these inventions, that have these breakthroughs, that have these things that I could tap into that are amongst us living, because we only have an opportunity, so it seems, to see one another when we die. Right? When they send you in the clouds and you in the sky, right? That's the only time that people can see you amongst our people for whatever reason. I don't understand that. But are we that great of a people, right? That we're just so fucking great that we're just hanging out doing nothing because we just that great and we haven't provided a world for ourselves, right? Where we edify our greatness, or the fucking greatness is busy enough that they're not just randomly in a supermarket on a Saturday afternoon getting, shot up by some nigga with what looks like to be a Manchurian candidate assignment. Okay? So, and I'm going to show you how weak our fucking people are, right? I'm going to show you how weak they are, how asleep they are, and how dangerous it's to be in a community when you are fucking genius surrounded by dumb people. No disrespect, right? Sorry, not sorry. So I put this post up. I put the post up earlier that I just played about the brother created water fuel technology, right? He created water fuel technology to power vehicles. We had a show 3 weeks ago with this brother right here named Abiku Bey, who does the same thing, right? He creates water cell fuels where you could replace your car, okay? You could replace fuel tanks with water tanks. And he showed how we could use these water technologies to power entire cities. He showed a device that could power the city of New York City for 2 days. A water device, water fuel. So what did people say all in the comments? They were just lamenting about how sorry it was that this brother died. They were saying we need to make sure that he gets his patent, or he shouldn't have patented and made it public. Not once did they say, even though I tagged this brother right here in the post, not once did they say as community, let us support this brother or protect him at all costs. Not once did they say that. When the community was saying that this man got killed because of a Dr. Sebi documentary, not once did they say, well, goddamn, well, who else knows that information that Dr. Sebi knew? His fucking children and his family's out here utilizing the same information that he used to cure people the same way that he was curing it. But the community don't fucking hear themselves because they always on defense and never on offense. And they fucking cowards, right? So don't sit up there and say, oh, somebody died because they had something that was threatening. Nigga, you supposed to run towards the threat if that's the case. Oh, that's what they killing people for? Let me pick up where he left off then, right? Let me pick up where he left off. You should be looking for things that you're willing to live for and stand on, not necessarily die for. You feel me? But whatever you know is something that they don't want, that's what you should want. Whatever you know is a threat to them, that's what you should motherfucking be peddling like, oh. Because you're telling me that these people have done something to you. You're telling me that these people are against you. You're telling me that these people don't play fair. You're telling me all of these things. Well, how you going to maximize, nigga? How you going to hit back? How you going to make it make sense? How you going to get right? The only way to edify fallen ancestors, right, is to complete their incomplete work. That's how you qualify an ancestor. You complete their incomplete work and you stop being so fucking scary. You stop being so goddamn sorry all the time, right? And be like, oh, the technology still exists. Let's investigate that. Let's support this brother. Let's protect this brother. Ain't nobody say that shit. And that's what these crackers know about you. That you're not willing to motherfucking defend your own. So don't tell me about the government's trying to take niggas' guns. Niggas ain't doing the motherfucking thing with their guns but killing one another. They ain't putting no pressure on nobody. You feel me? They just utilizing guns to take out their own. To cut themselves off at their fucking knees. They say you a Negro because you can't grow beyond your knees. I wonder why. I wonder why they know that about you. I wonder why they know that about you. Right? Because of this shit. Hold on. I'll give you some more since we on a roll today. Oh, we got time. Why do they know what you seem to not know about yourself? Again, you swear that you got some secrets, right? You swear that you got some secrets. Like what it is to be known about you is not known. You think they don't know this? You think everybody don't notice about you? When all of this shit is just observational? What does that mean, Blue? Nigga, you can observe it.
Have another Malcolm X. What the hell did you do with the first?
What did you do?
You let the first be killed right in front of your eyes.
In front of your eyes.
Do you deserve another?
Huh?
Do you think we'll ever have another Malcolm X? What the hell did you...
Niggas be having where's the Malcolm X? Why you think you deserve another Malcolm X? How, Sway? Malcolm X is not a martyr yet, to this day. Malcolm X is not a martyr to this day. You feel me? The nigga who killed Malcolm X, he used to be in the penitentiary walking around like he was unfucking touchable, okay? He was spinning the block. He was spinning the yard like he was a celebrity. Right? He had no pressure on him. Are you serious? And he came home and he walked the streets of New Jersey like he was a fucking hero. Ain't nobody run down on him to this day. Right? To this day. So, the nigga who killed Malcolm X and did 44 years and lived to tell about it, he's still alive to this day. Yeah, Zimmerman style. Right? So, a nigga's supposed to be, who's worried about you and the guns that you got that you won't bust? Huh? Ain't nobody worried about you. You feel me? You worried about all the wrong things, that's all. You losing the fucking fight by default because you don't want to motherfucking put your fist up. It ain't like he's a hell of a fighter. It's like you're not hell of a defender and you don't got no counterpunch. That's all. This nigga's fighting you with one arm tied behind his back. And he's poking you in the eye with his pinky. He's not even punching you in your mouth. You losing to a nigga who fights with his pinkies. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. But you want another Malcolm X. The first Malcolm X is not a fucking martyr. But you want another one. Why would that spirit return here? Why would that spirit return here? Look, we're not talking about that. I'm talking about the nigga who got locked up, who did 44 years for killing that man. Not the nigga who, we seen the fucking documentary. He got away and died. We saw that documentary. He wasn't a lone, God damn it, he wasn't a lone shooter. Stop switching it up. Right? We talking about Hagee. Is that his name? Thomas Hagee. He did 44 fucking years. And he was a legend in the New York penitentiary system. He was untouchable. Okay? And he came home untouchable. And he's still walking around. And you niggas is talking Malcolm X this, Malcolm X that. And they sitting up there laughing at you. Killer? Right? And these young niggas is out here doing kamikaze missions anyway, sending up all kind of elders. You could have made a commission. Yeah, I met his grandson. His grandson is the reason I have the name Blue Pill. We did a trade-off. Thomas Hagee, yeah. So it's like, yo, at some point, we gotta be for real about being for real. You know what I mean? This is not gonna cut it. This is not gonna cut it. The top 50 richest people have lost more than $500 billion this year. Right? So what is your pressure look like? What's your pressure look like? You lost a few money. You lost a few dollars on crypto. Granted. Right? You lost a few dollars on crypto. Feel me? I guess everything is perspective. This nigga's lost $500 billion. Right? So yeah, we talking recessions, but it's all perspective, I guess. Because they said the pandemic created a billionaire every 30 minutes. Right? Every 30 minutes, they said the pandemic created a billionaire. Right? But then they turned around and they lost trillions. Yeah, they'll be all right. You know? But what about the people?
It's been revealed that last week's market crash was actually historic. In fact, it's estimated that over $11 trillion in global assets were completely wiped out. To put that into perspective, we lost more than the dot-com bubble and the March 2020 sell-off combined. Some experts say that we haven't even hit the bottom yet. What do you think? It's been revealed that last week's market crash was actually...
And that's the thing. Yes, they're going to be all right. But guess who's going to pay for those losses? Guess who it's going to trickle down to? Do you know how capitalism works? Right? So the people at the bottom is going to bear the brunt. Right? It's almost like how shocks work. Right? When you shock in the system and then the bottom has to consolidate the greatest reverb of that particular shock once it ripples through the system. So the people in the lowest rungs of society are going to feel the crunch of this recession. Unless we figure some things out very fucking quick. Right? And if niggas is getting washed up in times like this, right? Imagine what it's going to be like, you feel me? When your ops and your adversaries are very much hostile, okay? They're very much fearful, and they're very much aggressive, right? What it's supposed to look like then? Because all of this shit is happening allegedly during times of peace. Feel me? Look, yeah. So, this is the time where you got to get food in the ground already, right? It's May. Shit's supposed to already have been in the ground. What you waiting on? Right? Let's have the farming challenge. Let's have the garden challenge. Feel me? Let's have the garden challenge. You see that over there? That's compost. I'm going to show you this shit too. Hold on. I got some more for you. I told you I got time today. Everything is just a walking meditation.
Look at the brothers, man. Getting that compost together. You think our folks is even capable of this? You know how long I've been telling our people about black gold? We can sell fertilizer around the world. They got a soil shortage. And even the soil that they do have is just, it's non-neutral. It ain't got no minerals in it. Brothers, you got the compost going. Hola. Is compost? Compost? Compost. Beautiful. Again, don't ever ask me why our people is motherfucking last in the race. Don't ever ask me that stupid shit, or I'm gonna fuck around and tell you the truth.
Compost. All right. Compost. They got the compost popping, right? Are we even into this? You know what I'm saying? Do we even consider this a necessary, important part of preparation? The things that we need to do? And this shit is simple. Just farming. Just putting seeds in the ground. Just tilling the soil. Just prepping it. Just making sure that we got food so we don't have to rely on nobody else, right? If there's an unnecessary situation and you can't get to what you need to get to, right? It's taking your matters into your own hand. And we have a responsibility to ourselves. We have a responsibility to our ancestors. We have a responsibility to our children. You have a responsibility to your own sensibilities and your comfort, the things that make you sleep well at night. To know I utilize my waking hours, right, to do what was necessary, to stake my place on this planet, right, to become a sole provider of food, clothing, and shelter for myself and my family and my community, and then I can sleep safe. You know what I'm saying? And you wake up and you do it again. You know, but these things are not a given. Tomorrow's not promised. You know what I'm saying? Yes, the soil's not only going to shit, it is shit. It's demineralized. Right? It's demineralized. Yeah, heirloom. Let me tell you something about heirloom seeds as well. Heirloom seeds as well. And this is a far stretch, and everybody is not going to be able to attain this level of consistency, right? I don't even have the seeds I'm about to tell you about. I don't have them anymore. I had them at one point. Shout out to, what's the brother's name? There's a brother in the community that was supplying them. But he was saying that the heirloom seeds were radiated, right? They have radiated heirloom seeds. So he was like, you got to get seeds from the 1600s. And those seeds are very, very hard to come by. Now, the seeds from the 1600s have not been necessarily radiated. But from that point on, they've even compromised heirloom seeds. And a lot of heirloom seeds are still hybrid. Feel me? Shout out to my brother Black Ant Bender. He said that they have the technology to remineralize the soil. And I wholeheartedly believe him. Why? Because ever since I've been wearing the tensor ring, right, the copper tensor ring, look at my shit. Like, I'm a nigga known for Caesars, y'all. You know what my hair look like. Peace, Bashara. Y'all know what my hair look like. I started putting copper coils on my hair, and look at my shit. Look at my hair, yo. I'm gonna be a Ross in 3 or 4 months. So, and this is important because the remineralization of soil is the same thing. Minerals help grow hair. You feel me? Minerals is responsible for this, as well as those copper tensor rings that I'm wearing, just creating a whole different level of magnetism. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got edges. Right? I got edges. My shit was I was losing my hairline. Yeah, I got wisdom. I told you my age, but I'm timeless. Hold on. Let me show you another article. Right? The Tamahoos, the Tamahoos is in my territory with these declarations right here. Biological age. Right? How old are you really? You say, start counting my biological age. What does that mean? I'm cognizant of the fact that I'm stardust and I'm water mainly. And water don't have an age, and neither does stardust. So I'm not even 1 trillion years old. I'm older than time itself. right? I've never not been here. There's never been a time that I've not been here. I've been here before humans had a form called human. You feel me? That's how old I am. Or that's how consistent. It's not even old. It's just like along the spectrum of time. I'm quantum. Quantum. So my biological age means that in a few months, my mane is gonna go back to all black. Because I'm not thinking in the terms of years and ages anymore. You know what I'm saying? That's so corny. It's not consistent with my reality. I'm timeless. I've always been here and I will forever be here. Right? Point blank period. So my hair has been growing exponentially because of the use of copper that I've had, you know what I'm saying, with my hair. So me knowing this about my hair, I know that we can do the same thing in the soil. We could do the same thing. I'm not ingesting copper. I wear copper ring. It's a copper ring called a tensor ring that I wear around my head. It's normally planted. You can't even see it when I got it on. It looks like a halo. Yes, I'm starting to look like my pops. He's had an afro from the very day that I've known him. You know, I've known him from this lifetime. He's had an afro every day. You know what I'm saying? So the brother, the Black Airbender, Brother Gaia, I did a live with him. This should be saved on my page. You can holler at him, Brother Gaia, or you could go to the Black Airbender and holler at the Black Airbender, and he'll get you in contact with Brother Gaia. But that's where I got my tensor ring from. You know what I'm saying? I just told you, Brother Gaia, or the Black Airbender. So shout out to the Black Airbender. We had him on, I believe it was last week, and he has amazing scalar technology, right? This is tech. This is utilizing your body as tech. Let's go back to this and see why this is so important and so imperative.
The reason why one race think they're better than the other is because they acquire technology. If you look at Africa, the reason why they are able to introduce their religion, their language, is because of the gunpowder. Our fathers fought, but they didn't have the gunpowder. So technology defeated them. If you want to develop as a people, you must develop science and technology. And we have to understand this is a survivor for us. We have to produce in Africa. You have to produce what you eat, or you have to eat what you produce. We shouldn't be depending for somebody else to give us what we're drinking. If we develop technology and our confidence goes up, our country manufacture, we can defend ourselves, nobody can bully us, then immediately the kind of respect people have for your race goes up. The reason why one race think they're better than...
I love what he said. And again, family, I'm going to attempt as best as I can to be as level-headed as I can and not blow a fuse. You feel me? I'm very passionate about my people. You know what I'm saying? I'm very passionate about our positioning on this planet, right? Because I have full faith in who we are, what we are, where we come from, and where we have the probability and the propensity to go when we get our minds right. So that's just where this energy comes from. I don't wish harm on nobody. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do nothing harmful in this world, but I will defend, you know, myself, my family, my loved ones. You know what I'm saying? You know, without sparing anything. You feel me? And if you fuck with one of mine's, you know, you deserve what's coming to you. And I'm saying all that to say that my true passion is in technology, it's in science, it's in arts and science. And that's what I want to channel, this energy. I want to channel this frustration. I want to channel this, you know, this energy into that. Because in the end, we all win, right? Me picking up a chopper and going to look to the, you know, to get back and what have you, that's not gonna propel us into the future. That's not gonna take us to where we need to go. You feel me? It's just gonna be like, that's not it. That's not the future. That's not, our people lost And we're in this situation because we got outwitted with technology. So technology also is going to be our guiding force to get up out of this situation or to equalize it. So that's why I'm training my efforts into technology, right? Technology and science, you know what I mean? And art, right? We have to restore our image. Our brand is damaged across the world. That's all we're looking at. We need rebranding, right? We need a image redux. You feel me? And we need a value system. And once we have that, everything else, I feel, will take care of itself. That's where I'm at with it. So the blockchain technology that we've been developing, the Netaverse, my brother Hugh, my brother Al-Kibalon, you know what I'm saying? The young gods over there on Discord, you know, what 19 Keys is doing on international platforms, my brother Murdoch, right? The sister Gemini, right? To me, without taking anything away from anybody, these are the revolutionaries that I identify that can reset the metric and help restore the brand and the image. And we have enough genius, my brother Biku, we have enough genius amongst us that we can compete. We can fucking compete internationally. And we should not shirk from the opportunity to compete. We should rise to any occasion to compete. Like it was a basketball motherfucking match or a wrestling match. Like what? I'm about to pin this nigga on the canvas and embarrass him. And that's how we should feel about this opportunity that we've been presented with tech. Because tech is unbiased. Tech is unbiased. It will do for us what we program it to do, what we command it to do. Slave master. But our failure to do so means that we're positioning and putting ourselves in the same predicament to get conquered again and dominated by technology. I'm not gonna fucking go to sleep and just rest on my laurels and allow this shit to happen on my watch. I cannot. I cannot do that. Right? So let me show you, like, what can tech do for us automatically, because no one has solutions, so it seems. And we know niggas ain't gonna pick up no arms, right? So we can get out of that bag. But what does tech look like? My brother Hugh, right, Human, he creates AI algorithms that can crawl the internet, right, and compile big data instantaneously. We can program an AI to crawl the internet every day and look for conversations on the internet, right, that are speaking about them doing wild style shit, because all of their planning still takes place on the internet. It takes place in 4chan and it takes place in Reddit. So anytime that they're plot planning and strategizing, they don't do that shit under covers, right? They do that shit on the internet. So why don't we utilize technology to identify who these people are? And then some of these people in these chat rooms have, you know, public official jobs. They have public service jobs, right? We need to out some of these quote unquote supremacists. We need to put them on blast. We need to petition the agencies that they work for to fire them, right? Take them out of the workforce at least, and then keep an eye on them, right? Technology can do this. But can humans do it? Can humans sit around all day and crawl the internet and look for particular, you know, patterns and hits and you know, who's having a conversation about X, Y, and Z? No. The large majority of the military is, then they got some work to do. Because this shit goes back, this goes all the way up to the military. This is a PSYOPs operation. You don't believe me? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's close it out with a bang, right? Let's close it out with a bang. And I'm honored to do this for you, family. I'm honored to bring certain information that we need to talk about. That obviously it seems like we're ready to have this real conversation. Okay. Let's have it. Because the information and the evidence is out there. It's not obscured necessarily, right? We just not hitting on it. We just not touching on it. But it's right there for us. Nothing is hidden necessarily. It's all there. We have failed on putting the pieces together, you know what I mean, to put things in proper perspective. That's all we've done, failed to do. You know what I'm saying? But for those of us that are still here, we can catch up. You know what I mean? But technology, if anybody is speaking adversely towards technology, peace, they don't understand history, right? And they're speaking against, you know, our potential protection in the long run, right? Speaking out against the very thing that will give us the equalizing capacity that we need to actually, quote unquote, play this game. Look at this. This is from the military, the 4th PSYOP group. Look at it. Don't at me. Don't fucking at me. Look at the video.
As the world watches and listens in awe, the peaceful pro-democracy demonstration in China comes to a violent and bloody end. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Wolves hiding nearby, whispering, do or die around me. You say your last goodnight while
There is another very important phase of warfare. It has as its target not the body, but the mind of the enemy. The target of psychological warfare is against the enemy's mind. It is words and ideas. Ammunition used by Psywar. Its mission is to influence the thoughts of the enemy soldier, and at the same time
is expected and encouraged to study foreign languages and the social sciences such as history, economics, and sociology. He must have a broad and sympathetic understanding of all phases of human experience.
gripping at my skin, the walls of night closing.
The use of this force as an integral part of combat has now taken on new form. These are the Psywar soldiers.
We are everywhere.
Psy-War soldiers.
So, doing a video about PSYOPs is a PSYOPs within itself. Okay? So, this is the military intelligentsia arm, right, that is telling you that it is engaging actively in a PSYOPs operation. Yeah, they're utilizing purge music. How you gonna make a commercial, right, advertising something that's supposed to be a secret, right? And this video dropped like a day or two after the shooting in Buffalo. How insensitive. How are you, the military, protecting the people, but then you're putting on to the people like you on their helmet, right? Isn't that what they tell you, that the military cannot operate on soil, or the CIA and the military, which is, you know, all in the same gang? So what I've been saying since this administration came in, I said that the president obviously is not the fucking president. He's not running the show. This is a military operation. It was a military operation before he came in. When they started giving them vaccines out, it was clearly, it's been a military operation since then. If you believe that, you know, that the president and stuff like that was running the country prior to that. Right? Now it's clear that it's a military operation. Right? But so who are you? Who is your op? Who's your adversary? You think it's a redneck? Huh? You think it's a random shooter? You think it's a lone wolf? Nigga? Fuck! So this is a weird ass place for people like myself to be in. Right? You gotta talk to people about shit that's game goofy. It's like, how are you this many ages old? Right? We're gonna erase the whole timeless shit. How are you timeless and you just don't know this shit? How you been here forever, right? With an eternal fucking memory. And I gotta sit here on live telling you this shit. Right? On a platform this operated by the military. On a military device. Huh? So who you think these things are? When we say things are PSYOPs, and we be like, people are Manchurian candidates, right? What did they just tell you in the whole commercial? We can program you, we can activate you, we can persuade and inspire you regardless of wherever you're at. So you think that 4chan and Reddit and all these other chat groups where these supremacists is occupying alongside military personnel, because admittingly the military is full of nationalists and supremacists by their own admission, right? And you wonder why these places never get shut down when so much propaganda is coming from them. Okay? When the dude went crazy on the New York subway the other day, they was investigating everybody in his YouTube watch list, everybody that he was watching in his playlist, right, got an investigation on him. Right? Yeah. And then homie released the footage like Call of Duty. It's all, and he had the military gear on. Right? And then they 108-page manifesto. Right? And they secured his life. They walked the nigga up out of there like he was a celebrity. You don't know military when you see it. That's what makes this shit so scary. Right? Not scary on their side. It's scary. I'm talking about attempting to be there for people who are not there for themselves. That's scary. Feel me? Peace, God. Peace, my brother. Yes, my brother. So these are the things that are like totally conflicting. Because no one wants to entertain the idea of how far up does this thing really go. because you want to tell me they want to take guns away from people. You're missing the point. This shit is a military operation. So who wants to take guns? The politicians want to take guns away from the people? So where does the military fit into this? They don't never tell you about what they're going to do with Nazis in the military. They don't even, they say, them niggas stomped the fucking White House. You would think that they would be pulling people out of their cribs still and locking them up. Right? It was a pony show, and we got more scrutiny. We were the ones that got censored. We was the ones that got ran down on. We was the ones that got marginalized. We ain't white supremacists or domestic terrorists, right? But the weight always seems to fall on us. Every time they do something, it falls on us. And nothing happens to them because they're tethered to the very system that you're depending on, right, to remedy the justice. How crazy is that? Peace, Brother FaZe. So you're in this, with one another. And anything else that you can conceive is delusional, as it should be. You all you got. You all you need. Right? Because this is all about you. It ain't about you and them. But why it kills kids, though? It's not okay. What is okay? Do you know what they do to kids, children, in them underground? Do you know what they're into? So again, we don't even know. We don't even know who we talking about. We don't know who we dealing with, right? And they're going so hard because they think that you know. They think that you saw them when they took their mask off and showed their fangs. So they don't have no cut card, but you don't have an elephant memory, so you don't forgot. And they showed you their hand. They showed you what they do to children. I can't even mention the word online right now because they'll tear my whole page down. Yeah. They out there drinking them children's blood. Hey, you think they care about your children? You think they care about your children? You're missing the point. Right? And again, yeah, if you was worried about, if the thing was about our children, you know what I'm saying? If this was about our children, right? You got these babies held hostage in these neighborhoods with niggas who got skinny pants on, who can't even shoot a fair one. And you telling me this nigga's real and all? This nigga got black nail polish on, man. Stop fucking telling me he's real because he got some bodies. That don't make a man. And you teaching the children the wrong thing to have morals and values, right? The people, we value the retards in our society and community and the pieces of shit. That's who we edify. But the brother, like the one in Buffalo that got killed, that has an invention that creates water cells for the tank. So my brother like Abiku, right? Or the brothers that build blockchains, why are these not the leading people in our community that's at the forefront? Why are they not at the tip of the pyramid? Why don't they have all the funding that they need? Why are we not investing in them? Right? And I'm even guilty, but niggas went in our pocket last year and we bought mad fucking NFTs. But we don't support and invest in one another. Yo, the 140 billion that they gave to Ukraine don't got nothing to do with you. Cause you ain't finna go up in there and telling people to give you your money or what to do with it. You got duped when they took the taxes out of your motherfucking check. Right? They went in your pocket and fleeced you. You can't even say nothing. Don't talk to me about who they choose to give your money to. Right? You should have been ran down on them. Now you can't do that no more. Cause they did a psyops to make sure that that shit will never happen. Right? So how you gonna get your remedy? Who you gonna talk to? Who's listening? You ain't seen your president more than 10 times this year. Who's listening? Who's listening? They like nice for what? They like, we got an election coming around. You know what I'm saying? It's one today. local. All politics is local. We not galvanizing around our quote-unquote local politicians. These are the ones that you can still actually give the bag to do your bidding. Because you don't got lobby money for presidents and senators and shit like that. But you can go and holler at a councilman. If you're going to play the game, and you playing the game, nigga, like, let's cut it out. You paying taxes. You licensed up. You part of their system. Yeah. Where the fucking we did a Joe women at? Let's talk to them. Why are we letting people off the hook? We need answers. Yeah, and they over in Davos right now carving the rest of this shit up. Wow. Again, they're sending their children at us, and we don't have answers. 18. We ain't see the militias yet. We ain't see the military yet. This is their babies. Taking out national treasures of ours. Because the other baby took out a national treasure. He killed a U.S. senator in Charleston, and he's supposed to get fucked. You kill a senator? You're supposed to be in the chair by now. They took the nigga to Burger King. But y'all rioted for George Floyd. A porn star. Now, this is not to dismiss the value of our brother's life, but I'm saying, Buffalo was not random people. These were iconic members of the community, productive members, right? This lady was a civil rights activist. She was getting busy since the 60s. The other brother, he was a fire commissioner for Buffalo, and his mama, the other one, was all kind of a social activist where she was feeding people every week. And then this security guard was an inventor who had water cell technology that can rival everything that they at Davos right now talking about. You talking about throwing a monkey wrench in the program, right? Because they want to slow trickle clean technology, and they're never going to give you water. They're going to give you electricity. They're going to give you, all of this stuff that they can still make money of. They will not allow to say, oh, well, I can start pulling free energy out of the air. I can utilize this water tank. That's not what they're not on that. Right? They killing them people. So we should be like, yo, we got to defend them people at all costs, because we obviously know that they represent a threat to the system or disruption. And anything that's potentially disruption can make trillions of dollars. Trillions of dollars. Trillions of dollars. Right? So, yes, rest in peace to those babies. You feel me? But we need to protect our babies from these airwaves. Good, right? We need to protect our babies from these. We need to protect our babies from YSL, goddammit. We need to protect our babies from the poison, and we need to protect our babies from OTB or OTF, what's this shit? Right? We need to protect our babies from these Bloods and these Crips. Because if they could do that to Nip, we should have stood and be like, we're going to throw all that shit away. Let's burn some fucking flags then. Right? If you're going to do that to Nip, if you're going to do that to a genius amongst you, a tech wizard, somebody with messianic force, a leader, the fuck do we need these gangs for?
Children longing for something.
This should have been a public burning the next day after y'all heard that goddamn phone call. Right? And I remember that shit specifically, because we went to the funeral and I was in communication with his mama, and the fucking gang was telling the mama, we got it from here. In so many words, your child is not your child anymore. Right? We own that body until we put it in the grave, and we're going to do it how we want to do it. That's what they told her. So you making a blood oath, literally. When you get into these gangs, you making a blood oath, and your child is no longer your child. They got your child spinning the block, doing shit that you did not push your child through the birth canal to come here to do. You no longer own that child. That child is now blood oath to whatever entity that's working through that organization. Right? And they not running plays, I don't think, for the big guy upstairs. So you go figure that shit out. Huh? Y'all don't want to have that talk. So the things in our community that used to be the exceptions are now the rules. And the things that were the rules now have to take a back seat while the fucking lowest rung, the lowest denominator of our society is driving the bus. And you think this shit is cute. You think this shit is cute. And no one's willing to fight back, to be like, no, I'm going to need my babies for the future. I'm going to need my babies for the continuity of the species. I'm going to need my babies in order to raise these young boys to marry these little young girls. So we can have productive children that are trauma-free, so we can finally see what this shit looks like to compete. Because now we got the technology that we can teach these children on our own accord, and we can teach them where they can be advanced. What are we doing? Why are we wasting time? Right? And what does the gang serve? What do they serve? How do they serve protection if these niggas always killing each other? What are you protecting one another against? Because the community is not secure, the gang ain't secured, and then niggas just shooting niggas' mama's cribs up. The family's not secure. What's secured? What's secured? What are you ganging up to secure what for? You can learn a trade and get money on your own. You could get a licensed pistol on your own. You could what do you need these niggas for? Security? They're not doing a hell of a security job. If they always got to spend because of their homie's dead, like, you failed your homie. Your homie's dead. There's no, you spending after the fact. The nigga's dead. You to secure him. But the grandmothers ain't safe in the community. And the children ain't safe in the community. And the women ain't safe in the community. And the working people ain't safe in the community. Right? So what service is the gangs providing in the community then? Right? There's no hood tax, so even if they're making money and they control the underworld, they're not kicking no bread back, right? They're not even taking children to the motherfucking amusement parks no more. They ain't even doing bus rides. So why are we sending or allowing our children, right? Because then now the shit is in the music, so it's culture. So you don't even got to be born in the neighborhood for your child to feel that it's a prerequisite that they got to gang, bang, bang in order to be part of the wave. But we want to sit here and talk about 14 children killed in Texas. You killed a piece of your child this fucking morning when you had him in the back seat with that garbage ass music on, right? You slowly killing your child. Every time that you are putting a visual in their head of them spinning on another fucking melanated person. Because the little niggas know the lyrics to all of the songs. I just told you I was around a 5-year-old. Now he did 30 push-ups, right? He was street savvy. His mother raised him around the elements. So he was active at that age. He seen a young man in there with a pistol on him. He was like, you kill people? You killed somebody before? Like, these was real questions he was asking. He was 5. Now he, did 30 push-ups, 50 jumping jacks, so. But I'm like, who's going to recruit him? You know what I mean? He said he want to play football, but is the streets going to get to him before how do we balance this out? He knew all of these rap lyrics. was 5. I seen the same thing when I was in Chicago. 5. I seen girls on the corner in Chicago that was like 13 and 14 on a Sunday, 11 a.m. I seen them in Oakland at 7 a.m. And the pimps was little knuckleheads. Couldn't have been more than 17. I wanted to smack the shit out of them, and they told me don't do that. So it's like we don't even have our own system of. We don't have a built-in reward system, but we also don't have a system where we like, damn, I gotta smack this little dude up for his own good. Now you gotta worry about them spraying your crib up, hitting up your folks, and you know what I mean? You can't even discipline them. You can't talk to the women, and you can't discipline the children. Right? But y'all be like, where's the next Malcolm X? Malcolm X is not martyred to this day. Again, I keep telling you. Thomas Hagen did 44 years. He's still walking around in New Jersey to this day. Stop talking about where's the next Malcolm X. What did you do with the last Malcolm X? Right? So this is very spiritual and it's very cathartic. And it's very cyclical. Because for whatever reason, we just fail to learn from our mistakes. Fail to learn from our past. Fail to learn from the predecessing things that prepare you for the future. The universe conspires for our success. You conspire against yourself. Hence the fact that they sweeping niggas up conspiracy raps. Because you're conspiring against yourself. The universe is conspiring for your success. It ain't throwing motherfucking lightning bolts at you yet. It's supplying you with all the ingredients. You have to make the soup though. Right? Look, it's mad trees around here. Does that automatically mean it's a table or a chair there? No, you gotta make it. But the raw ingredients are right here. In abundance. That's the universe for you. It's like I'm giving you everything in abundance. I gave you this whole DeFi. I gave you this whole crypto. I'm giving you technology. And you niggas are still complaining. What am I gonna do with you? Right? Oh, I'm gonna let these white boys go crazy. Maybe that might convince you that you have to unify, that there's more power in a fist as opposed to motherfucking pinky fighting. Right? I can do more push-ups on these 5 digits than I can on a pinky. Yeah, you seen that video the other day with the babies with all them blickies? Look, they look like they either had bodies or they was well on their way. They look like they primed to catch them some bodies. They was babies. They all had blickies, like big joints. Right?
We got to destroy those images too. Because those images then are also, as they put in our head, they put in the police head. So when the police ride up on them, the police
so they
just
see.
automatically see
they
this
see
imagery.
monsters. Right.
So he automatically drawing down to kill. Because the only thing he thinking is...
Only thing he thinking what he seen online is like, these are some little killers. Right? They already told you with Mike Brown, what did dude say? He said he looked like a monster. He was 15, right? But to him, he looked like he was 500 feet, right? So this, again, goes back into their psychological, genetic disposition, where when they see you, they see the annihilation, right? Even your children are intimidating to you. So that's how they're responding. They're responding by, I'm scared, right? It's a fear factor. And they are going to respond accordingly, unfortunately, because they're fearful, right? And then the system has already gave them the precedent to say, there's no penalty for this. We scared just like you are. You know what I'm saying? And I read you I read you the documentation from 1964, 1965 called The Negro Family, written by Patrick Moynihan. In chapter 4, it's called The Tangled Pathology, where they said what? They said that these black children have a developmental dysfunction because they was raised by women in a single household. They was like, we don't want them. They dangerous. Get rid of them. Benign neglect, right? Here, take some welfare, take Head Start, take WIC. But we ain't got nothing else for you. And yeah, y'all are at a detriment. So if we got to clean you up, we'll do that, because we cannot even factor you into our society because you have a developmental dysfunction. They said that you have a, you know, there's, you know, being raised by women is not American. It's not part of the American ideal. You know what I'm saying? They said that you have a developmental dysfunction. So this is an extension of how they look at women to begin with, which is built into their religion, indoctrination. So now we here, however many years later, and you see exactly what they're doing, right? And we back in the hands of these Democrats. And because it's election day, niggas is running around with the pom-poms on. Cheerleading, not asking for no goddamn answers from an administration that has been more absent than any other I've ever seen. And you got a melanated vice president, allegedly. It's not a book, it's a PDF. It's called The Negro Family. You can Google it. It's available right now. You ain't gotta waste no time. It's right on Google.
Moynihan Report.
Yeah, the Moynihan Report. So it's like, what are we talking about? This was in 65, like, and we still haven't addressed. we ain't addressed the doctrine of discovery. We ain't addressed the Negro Family Report. I mean, it's just so much that it's just so much that we have failed collectively and we have platforms. The Negro Family, the Negro Family is the name of the PDF, and the Tangled Pathology is the 4th chapter. That's the one that you definitely need to read. If you thought Kevin Samuels was talking crazy about melanated women, wait till you see what the Democrats got to say. Somebody said, do I feel like black people will ever unite again? See, there's a misconception. Black people are united around ignorance. Go to the shade room. You want to see unity? They all over there. Go to Black Twitter. You want to see unity? They unite to cancel niggas. So let's not say that they're not united. Huh? That's you. They united around the wrong shit. But they united. If you could fit 40,000 people in the mega church, that takes some unity, right? They gathered around the word, right? Yeah, and niggas unite at funerals. So let's not say that we're not united. Let's say that we united around all of the wrong things, and we have not been incentivized to be united around liberation or victory because we have not been presented with a clear enough plan of what that looks like to say, I'm willing to live and lay my life down for that, right? You have to appeal to people's sensibilities. What is the incentive package? What is the reward package for unity? And why have we failed to produce and present that package to our people? Why have we not pushed that P on our people? To be like, yo, with unity, we'll be $100 trillion brand of which each melanated family can be stipend X amount of dollars annually, right? In our community, you can house yourself from to $40,000 to $50,000. You can have your crib built out. That crib might be a $250,000 to $300,000 home. You could pay it off in 5 years. So once you got your food and your housing secured, you know, your clothing, your drip can be taken care of. If you get food, clothing, and shelter situated as a people, what else can you do in the space of creativity when you got all that time on your hands? You can make you some babies. You can create you some inventions. You can learn you some trades. You know what I'm saying? And you can help other people build homes and communities. All hands on deck, like the Amish do. Don't let me, do I gotta pull that video up too? Right? So you can look every single day at damn, 100 years from now, like you could go over it. We're gonna be doing this, we're gonna be doing that, we're gonna non-stop. Like, and this takes nothing. It takes nothing. It takes nothing but to initially plant the seed and do it. Shout out to the brothers from Hereafter Farm, from Somerville Lakes. Shout out to the Toonsboro family. Right? They're moving towards that process of getting things done and showing how it's done. Shout out to Brother Ben X. Right? Brother Farrakhan. And Marlena. And Ashley. Right? And shout out to my brother Raheem, of course. Right? So these things are happening. And they have to happen. You know what I'm saying? I just wish that more of us was involved. And I know that the family is dispersed and they spread out. And I know that people, you know, they doing the 9-to-5 thing. So they tapped into that cycle, and that's a lot where time and the energy go. But we need shit. You know how they got like pregnancy leave and shit like that? We need power to the people leave or something like that. Where it's like, yeah, I gotta spend some time with my folks. Let me go build a tree house or a tiny home or a cabin or something. You know, these things that we're doing today is securing our future for tomorrow and preparing a world that we can actually hand to our children that's respectable. Where they're like, yo, you cared enough to sacrifice? You know what I'm saying? And what does sacrifice look? I can't go out tonight. What does sacrifice look? I can't buy this drip. What does sacrifice look like? You know, I can't buy a whole pound of Zaza. You know, Jordan's gonna have to wait. All of the things that we award ourselves, like as if we put in so much work that we deserve all of this extra credit shit. We jump to work and just go straight to extra credit. Feel me? Those are the things. It's a little bit of sacrifice and time. Yo, I ain't go to, you know, Memorial Day, I ain't go here, but I did this. You know, I donated 18 hours towards building something that was not going towards me. Sacrifice. I'm all for it. I ain't scared of no work. I don't always want to do it alone, though. But I will if I have to. But I just don't always want to do it alone. You know what I'm saying? This is where I want to be. I want to go back to the mountains and mind my business. You know what I'm saying? That's my happy place. Like, peopling, you know what I'm saying? Peopling has become very heavy on my soul. Peopling has become very heavy. You know what I'm saying? Peopling is draining. But when I'm in nature, when I'm in the mountains, when I'm in the tropics, when I'm, you know what I'm saying, and I'm just with the creator and I'm learning and I'm listening and I'm working on me, that's my happy place. I came back to Atlanta and I really wanted to get some work done with the community. You know what I'm saying? But the community needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of work. And they draw a lot of energy from you and it does not get returned. It's like whatever you're willing to give, that's what they're willing to take. But it's not a give-take relationship. It's like, we need help, but we're not asking for it. But if you come to give it, we're going to take everything that you got to give. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, but the earth need us too, you know? So as much as the people are calling from us, and this is for the healers and the healer community, Like the earth needs your healing. The earth needs to experience your process of scaling up and you know, the catharsis process that one has to go through. Like the earth benefits from that too. The earth knows how to take your tears and convert them. You know, the earth wants you to bring your wishes. You know, they call them well wishes for a meaning. Right? People used to put their wishes down in the well, right? Because the water has that ability. Feel me? And it's petty disputes. It's petty disputes. You know what I mean? But I would be remiss if again that I did not say, you know, I come back to Atlanta and I'm working in the community and you find out more things the longer that you're in the community. This community is full of predators. Right? And it's unfortunate. And I don't want to be the one that has to do this continuously. But the community is full of predators. And this shit is unfortunate because it's young predators, it's older predators. You know what I'm saying? And the common denominator is that the women and the children are not necessarily safe in this community. And it's just something that we have to deal with as a community, period. Because it don't matter where I go, I'm running into the same scenario. And I'm thinking that now at this point it must be ancestral, right? Because these young men don't know what happened to their fathers. And their fathers don't know what happened to their fathers. And nobody's being real with them. We're not taking it, we're not putting this shit on the table because we're not looking for the healing. If you can't get to admitting it, how you going to get to the healing? You can only heal what you reveal. I think I heard Jay-Z say that. So I'm coming back to Atlanta thinking I'm doing something else, and I'm continuously running into these situations about people who I felt very, you know, I look up to this person, you know, this person is an elder, or this person is a homie, to find out this person is a predator. You know what I'm saying? And this is upsetting. It's hurting my heart. You know? But it's just about it's about the human condition with our people, period. Because I guess we coming out of Scorpio full moon and it's dealing with the shadow selves. So the shit that goes on in the shadow, it will haunt you, right? It's crazy. But it's coming to the surface because people is talking, right? And this is going to be some very tough pills to swallow because these are some people in our community that are iconic. And it's going to require a whole different level of healing, especially when it's healers. Right? And I've been hearing about the shit for a minute in this community. About the dirty healers. Like the Reikis and all of this shit. They're out here violating. It's almost like it's systemic at this point. So we fighting on mad different planes. You in a fight and your bro got your quote unquote back and you on the battlefield going against the quote unquote op and you don't even know. This nigga behind you got fangs. Cause they ain't want to deal with they shit. Right? And granted, like if we can only conceive what it must be like living in the hells of North America, going through what we go through, you know, however many years, however many different eras and what have you, I'm sure that these brothers must have been exposed to some crazy shit. But you gotta deal with your crazy, bro. You gotta deal with your crazy. You can't disguise your crazy under consciousness, under a head wrap. And then when people really need you and they vulnerable, that's when your motherfucking fangs come out because you ain't do the work. And you just take your crazy from one place to another thinking that the information ain't gonna follow you. And then you got us looking crazy because we standing next to you. But it's like, I want to see more love from this community for their fucking children. Because it's almost like you would jump all the way out the goddamn window attempting to protect somebody else's children, and they not willing to do that for their own fucking children, yo. You know what I'm saying? And I learned the hard way a long time ago by being a step parent that that's a no-go. Like, that shit don't work. Right? As much work you think that you're doing on behalf of that child, it will get undone by the parent who's not ready. Because that child's dysfunction is an extension of their parents' dysfunction, and their parent don't want to do the work. Right? Or their parent want to be oblivious to the battlefield. Like their eyes don't work. You know what I'm saying? Or their life is so lit that they ain't got time for their child. Like, you have to be so protective. You have to be so intuitive these days with these children. It only takes a split second. Right? Because your babies are surrounded by predators. If I'm meeting, and I always said this, if I know 8 out of 10 women that have been abused, it's some nasty motherfuckers out here. And these are women that are in my generation, so it was some older nasty motherfuckers out here. What you think? That they didn't give birth to other, that seed didn't matriculate to some degree? Now, then they grew up in a culture where it was okay. Because my culture, we was told in so many words, in so many terms, that it was okay to violate. So many ways. There's no repercussions for them. And she's accessible. And if you can't get it, take it. This is the shit that we seen in our culture. And people, they be knocking Charleston White for what he said, right? But running trains on young girls is borderline rape. So it was young men in the community or just in our culture, period, that were, soft rapists. They don't even know that it's rape. Just like young men don't know, right? Like I'll take myself for an example. I lost my virginity at a very young age to an older woman. That was rape. You know what I'm saying? That was rape. I was like 8, some crazy shit like that. It didn't even make sense. She knew what the fuck she was doing. I didn't. I was, right, borderline taken advantage of. I didn't even know it. And then it creates a different psyche about how you approach sexual relationships later on in life. Until you catch it. So, and then again, if we don't catch these things and discuss them and put spotlights on them, you feel me? How are we ever going to protect the children that we're now having that have the potentiality to be free of trauma because you got your things situated and you're not in the hood necessarily no more, and you can just be a parent and give your child the things that you didn't have, right? But because we are human fractals, the things that we fail to address in our own personal life, they have a way to pop up in different situations. Whether that's like that'd be like the sins of the father visit the child or shit like that. The things that we fail, that we think that we just, I healed from that because I've been away from it long enough that they tell you the fucking time heals. No. You addressing something heals it. You putting it on the table in the light heals it. Not thinking that you're going to ignore it for X amount of time that automatically is going to heal it. And then you're not there to make sure that you're protecting your child against potential predators. Sending them to friends' houses, sending them to daycare, sending them just to places where it's just not a guarantee. You know what I'm saying? That them folks and your child is safe. But you got things to do. You out here in the world, You know what I mean? So that's why family's so important. And that's also why people don't, that's also why the structure of family might have fallen apart. Because family wasn't safe for a lot of people. So people didn't edify or value family because they like, that's where the pain comes from. Fuck family. They like, I don't like, I got new family. That's cool. That's cool, but you still got a responsibility to go back there and heal that shit because that's still your bloodline. You can find you a new family and everything, but you can't totally abandon that. Yeah. So if we're not talking about these things and we're not mindful, how are we going to protect children from predators if they don't know what to look for? Right? That nigga's hugging you too long. Right? His hand don't belong on the small of your back. This, that, and the other is man shit. And I be looking at some of these brothers and I'm like, you was orientated the wrong way. And you might not even know that that's not cool. Because we not having these conversations. And women are not being vocal enough to be like, this is the line that you don't cross. I feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason. And you give some of these brothers a little bit of leverage, they're going to take a lot. Because they have not been taught about borders or parameters. Right? We were raised in an era that everything was kind of accessible. And it was hypersexualized. So people were doing things that they don't even realize in this post-Me Too era is a no-go. No, that's what I'm saying. Stuff happens inside of the family. That's why a lot of people have abandoned family altogether. Where I be talking about, yo, you need to go back. And they be like, I ain't going back nowhere. Like, I'm over here with my new family. I ain't trying to heal that shit up. They need to burn. I'll be like, some things is a little too far gone. You know what I'm saying? But you forgive yourself. That's what I'm saying. The process of how you could, alchemize that is that you sit with yourself and forgive yourself. You know what I mean? And this is not laying the blame on you. I'm not saying that you're responsible for what happened to you, right? But we also contracted to be here. So you forgive yourself because you're not responsible necessarily for the things that happened to you. And you may have, felt a particular way, and then you have to make your higher self or your higher force I'm not saying it got something to do with it, but it was there. So you got to patch that relationship up. Like, was you sent the signal? Was there a nudge? So you're going to have a conflict with yourself because you didn't feel protected. So you forgive yourself. You hug yourself. And then in your mind, you start forgiving the people who did something to you. So you could take your power back. So that person don't have your piece of you with them at all times. Right? You got to pull that power back. And then ground yourself in that power. And then feel like, spend some time with yourself in the fullness of yourself. If you got to cry, whatever you got to fucking do. Do it. And then I promise you, the way that you deal with leasing or licensing out your energy going forward will be totally different. Right? It will be totally different once you reestablish your true value with self. And you have all of the pieces of you back. It's like when you get your children back from ACS or something, you're just not going to let them randomly go outside and play. You're going to be real protective at that point. But not to the where you like over policing them. You're just going to be a little bit more engaged. You know what I'm saying? And I just want the family to just be a little bit more engaged and aware. Consciousness means awareness. We need to be hyper aware at all times. feel me? Because this world is different. It just is. I don't even know how to put it into words. It's just different. And because it's so different, it's just like you cannot leave anything to chance. You have to stand on your two. And these children is precious. And the earth is precious. You know what I'm saying? But the people is different. Right? These are they have admixture of all kind of shit in them. They just do. Pig, cat, dog, hog, angel, demon, alien. Right? This nigga's different. Reptilian. This nigga's different. You just don't know what you're gonna get. And you can only be responsible for yourself. Peace, God. You can only be responsible for yourself. And the children that come from your loins, that come from your body, right? You're partially responsible to them to a degree as well. Because at some point, when they grow into maturity, they're going to be responsible for themselves. So, you know, you have a responsibility factor that's ingrained, but they're responsible for themselves. That's what you need to be teaching them up. Feel me? So, yeah. This has been going on for a minute. I ain't gonna take it. I ain't gonna draw it out too long. Covered a lot of bases here. You know what I mean? I had put this post up earlier. This was deep. This was dope. Like, and it's all about perspective. These two twins was in the belly. This was a Yoruba proverb that was dope. And they only knew their environment. And this hit me yesterday, right? While I was attempting to help somebody with absolving their fear of death. And I said to them, I said, what if you die in the flesh but awaken in your dreams? Meaning that, you know, the flesh died, but my spirit, my soul went on. And I was just living in that dream state that I be getting glimpses of when I'm dreaming. I was just there forever. And then going to different, you know what I'm saying? It was exciting. I was like, oh shit. That ain't so bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm not scared of that. And that's how I was able to help somebody deal with that particular fear. And it's like, we don't know what we don't know. We can't see what we can't see per se. Right? And it's the same thing that when we in a womb. We only know that environment, right? And we don't think that there's nothing beyond that. You feel me? Because nobody ever came back into the womb and told you what life was like after birth. So you like, man, I don't want to go out there. It's cool in here. You know what I'm saying? And somebody's like, but we in the womb. We got a whole mother. They're like, what you talking about? Like, where's she at? Right? Because you in the womb. Right? We only know the womb. We only know that we get to eat through the umbilical. We don't know what it is to go outside and fend for ourselves and things of that nature. You know? So it's the same thing when we leave this incubation period, you know, and we're going to graduate and be birthed into a wider womb. You feel me? And there's nothing to fear but fear itself. We have to absolve ourselves from that critical light cold lockdown called fear. It's a false evidence. Feel me? You have to eradicate yourself from that. Because it's acting like a block. It's not allowing you to live your life because you're fearing death. Okay? So let it go. Eradicate it. Know that we're always going to be birthing into something new. We're always going to be graduating. It's a beautiful, beautiful process. Right? Creator has the greatest of plans for us. Built that in. This is the journey of a lifetime. Enjoy it. Anticipate it. Be so engaged in it. You know what I'm saying? That we don't allow this pettiness to get ahead of us. It's like having a pebble in your shoe. And now you got to walk all limpy. It's just a pebble. Take it out your shoe. These people cannot compare or compete. Why are we putting them on that level? Put the devil back in the hole where he belongs. Right? So with that, I want to say peace. Peace, love, and light to the family. Yeah, we'll tap back in. All right?